After the age of 60, the body no longer recovers as quickly as it once did. A small change in the weather, a meal lacking in nutrients, or a few nights of poor sleep can make older adults feel tired for longer. That is why taking care of health at this stage is not only about taking medicine when illness appears, but more importantly, about building a strong foundation of health through daily habits. One of the simplest ways to do that is to start from your own garden and kitchen. Plants that are easy to grow, easy to prepare, and rich in nutrients can make meals healthier, providing the body with more fiber, vitamins, minerals, and essential antioxidants. They are not miracle cures or medicines for disease, but when used regularly, they can support the digestive system, help the body absorb nutrients better, and contribute to maintaining natural immunity. And the interesting thing is that many of them are very familiar, easy to grow at home, yet often underestimated. In this video, let's explore 10 plants that deserve a place in a health garden. Before we begin, if you're interested in natural and easy-to-apply ways to take care of your health every day, please hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next videos. 1. Zucchini. Zucchini is a plant that truly deserves a place in a health garden, especially if you are building a diet that is light, easy to digest, and suitable for older adults. From the outside, zucchini may look quite simple, but it is exactly that simplicity that makes it such a practical choice for everyday meals. One of zucchini's greatest strengths is that it contains a lot of water, has a soft texture, a mild flavor, and is very easy to prepare. For older adults, the digestive system often does not work as strongly as it once did, so foods that are too greasy, too spicy, or too hard to digest can make the body feel more tired. Zucchini is the opposite. It feels light on the stomach, cooks until soft very easily, and can be used in many dishes such as soups, stews, light stir-fries, warm salads, or cooked with eggs. Zucchini also provides fiber, vitamins, and some essential minerals, helping make meals more balanced. Although it is not the vegetable richest in vitamin C, its value lies in helping older adults eat more vegetables naturally, without feeling bored or heavy after eating. When the diet includes enough vegetables, the body has a better foundation for maintaining digestive health, absorbing nutrients, and supporting natural immunity. Another advantage is that zucchini is very easy to add to daily eating habits. Just slice it thinly, steam it lightly, saute it with a little olive oil, or cook it in soup, and you already have a soft, fragrant, and healthy dish. So, zucchini may not be a flashy superfood, but it is a sustainable, easy-to-use choice that fits very well in the garden of anyone who wants to live healthier every day. 2. Asparagus. Asparagus is the kind of vegetable that looks very fresh, clean, and modern. Just a few green spears, lightly steamed or pan-seared on a plate, can make a meal feel much healthier. This is also why asparagus often appears on menus for people who want to eat light, eat in a more refined way, and take care of their bodies sustainably. For older adults, the value of asparagus is not only in its nutrients, but also in how light it feels on the stomach. As we get older, the body often no longer enjoys foods that are too oily, too heavily seasoned, or hard to digest. Soft vegetables with a mild flavor and easy combinations, like asparagus, can make meals more pleasant without making them feel bland. Asparagus provides fiber, vitamins, and some essential minerals, which helps support digestion and makes the diet more balanced. When the digestive system works well, the body can also absorb nutrients more effectively, and this is an important part of maintaining natural immune health. The good thing about asparagus is that it does not require complicated preparation. It can be lightly steamed, roasted with olive oil, cooked in soup, or served with eggs, fish, or chicken. Even a small amount is enough to add more green color, more fiber, and a fresher feeling to the meal. So asparagus is not a vegetable that impresses through boldness, but through its subtlety, quietly. It helps make meals for older adults lighter, more balanced, and more full of life each day. 3. Okra. Okra is a plant with a very humble appearance, but it brings a strong feeling of a home garden. The long, Slender green okra pods growing steadily on the plant make people think of a warm garden, where meals are prepared from fresh ingredients picked the same day. It is not a luxurious or rare vegetable, but that very familiarity makes okra highly suitable for the daily life of older adults. The most special thing about okra is the natural mucilage inside. Many people may not like this texture at first, but it is exactly what makes okra an interesting vegetable for the digestive system. For older adults, good digestion is an important foundation, because when the intestines work more gently and smoothly, the body can also absorb nutrients from meals more easily. Okra also provides fiber, some vitamin C, folate, and beneficial plant compounds. These nutrients do not turn okra into a medicine or a cure for disease, but they do add more nutritional value to meals, especially when older adults need to eat more vegetables while still wanting foods that are soft, easy to chew, and not too heavy on the stomach. In the kitchen, okra is very flexible. It can be lightly boiled and served with a simple dipping sauce, steamed, roasted, cooked in sour soup, added to stews, or quickly pan-seared. If you do not like too much of its slimy texture, you can roast or pan-sear it to make the okra drier and more fragrant. So okra deserves a place in a health garden not because it is especially eye-catching, but because it quietly supports meals from the inside. Gentle, easy to use, rich in fiber, and very suitable for a healthy lifestyle after middle age. 4. Kohlrabi. Kohlrabi is a vegetable with a slightly unusual appearance. Its round, swollen stem looks like a small bulb, with long green leaves growing from the top. At first glance, it may seem simple, but once added to a meal, kohlrabi brings a very fresh, crisp, and clean feeling. It is well suited for home gardens because it is not only easy to prepare, but also gives meals a sense of real, wholesome, and down-to-earth eating. What makes kohlrabi valuable is that it has both a light crunch and a naturally mild sweetness. For older adults, foods that are too heavily seasoned or too greasy can often cause discomfort. Kohlrabi is different. It can be boiled, lightly stir-fried, cooked in soup, made into salad, or stewed until soft with other vegetables. When cooked just right, kohlrabi keeps its gentle sweetness while becoming softer and easier to eat. Nutritionally, kohlrabi is a very worthwhile choice because it contains fiber, vitamin C, and many beneficial plant compounds. Fiber helps make meals gentler on the digestive system, while vitamin C is a familiar nutrient often mentioned when talking about immunity. Of course, kohlrabi is not medicine, but if it appears regularly in the diet, it can contribute to a better foundation for everyday health. Another good thing about kohlrabi is that it makes meals less boring. It is not soft like zucchini, not slender like asparagus. Kohlrabi has its own character: crisp, sweet, refreshing, and easy to combine with other foods. That simplicity is exactly what makes it a plant worth having in a health garden, not showy, but steadily nourishing the body through every meal. 5. Amaranth greens. Amaranth greens are the kind of vegetable that feels very rustic and very close to home-cooked family meals. Just by looking at the deep green color or the slight reddish-purple tint of the leaves, you can already feel that this is a vegetable full of life. It is not fancy, not expensive, and does not need to appear in luxurious dishes, but it has its own special value: easy to grow, easy to eat, and easy to include in everyday meals. For older adults, one very valuable thing about amaranth greens is that they become soft quickly when cooked. Not everyone at an older age enjoys foods that are too chewy, too hard, or difficult to chew. A simple bowl of amaranth soup, perhaps with a little shrimp, ground meat, or tofu, feels light on the stomach while also bringing a warm and comforting feeling. It is the kind of dish that does not make the body work hard to digest, but instead helps the meal feel gentler. Amaranth greens are also rich in nutritional value. They provide fiber, vitamins, minerals, and natural antioxidants. These elements help make meals more balanced, support digestion, and contribute to overall health. When older adults eat enough leafy greens each day, the body receives more nutrients to maintain energy, absorb nutrients better, and support natural immunity. The good thing about amaranth greens is that they do not require complicated preparation. Simply cook them in soup, boil them, lightly stir-fry them, or combine them with porridge or soups, and you already have a soft, easy-to-eat dish that feels full of home. In a health garden, amaranth greens are like a quiet friend, not too eye-catching, but steadily bringing freshness, gentleness, and healthfulness to every meal. Have you ever eaten or grown any of the plants on this list? Leave a comment below. I'd really love to hear about your experience. 6. Husk tomato. Husk tomato is a very interesting fruit, because even its outer appearance creates a sense of uniqueness. The thin husk surrounding it like a small lantern makes it look both natural and slightly mysterious. In a health garden, this plant is valuable not only for its nutrition, but also for its visual appeal, especially if you're making videos about unusual but useful plants for everyday meals. What makes husk tomato appealing is its light, fresh, mildly tart flavor. It gives meals a more lively feeling, so they do not taste too plain or monotonous. For older adults, appetite can sometimes decrease over time, so fruits with a gentle flavor, easy combinations, and a natural ability to stimulate the taste buds are worth considering. Without using too many strong seasonings, just a touch of fresh tartness can make a dish easier to enjoy. Nutritionally, husk tomato can help add fiber, vitamins, and beneficial plant compounds to the diet. These elements make meals more balanced, support digestion, and contribute to overall health. It is not the kind of fruit that should be exaggerated as a miracle cure, but it can absolutely belong to the group of foods that help older adults eat in a more varied and healthy way. In the kitchen, husk tomato can be used in salads, sauces, stews, or served alongside other vegetables to add a light tart flavor. When used in the right amount, it brings more color, flavor, and freshness to a meal. So husk tomato is very suitable for this list as a special choice, not too common, not too showy, but unique enough, beautiful enough, and valuable enough to make a health garden feel richer and more diverse. 7. Sweet corn. Sweet corn brings a very different feeling to a health garden. If leafy greens often suggest lightness and freshness, sweet corn creates a feeling of warmth, fullness, and familiarity. Golden ears of corn, with plump kernels, harvested from the garden and then boiled or grilled, always bring a very simple yet comforting feeling. This is a plant that is not only grown for food, but also adds more life and color to the garden. For older adults, sweet corn has one very practical advantage: it is easy to eat, easy to prepare, and can be used as part of a healthy light meal or snack. A soft boiled ear of corn, a bowl of corn soup, or a small amount of corn kernels mixed into a salad can all make a meal more appealing without needing too much seasoning. As people get older, enjoying food can sometimes be just as important as eating enough nutrients, because if meals are too bland, older adults may easily end up eating less. Sweet corn provides fiber, some vitamins, minerals, and natural energy. Fiber helps make meals feel more filling, supports digestion, and helps the body absorb nutrients more steadily. However, corn is also a starchy food, so people who need to control their blood sugar, especially those with diabetes, should eat it in moderate portions and combine it with leafy greens, healthy protein, or other low-sugar foods. The good thing about sweet corn is that it does not feel like a dry, restrictive diet food. It has a natural sweetness, a beautiful yellow color, and is very easy to add to family meals. In a health garden, sweet corn is like a gentle source of energy. It does not replace leafy greens, but it helps make meals richer, more colorful, and easier to maintain every day. 8. Nasturtium. Nasturtium is a beautiful highlight in a health garden. Unlike familiar vegetables that are usually grown for everyday cooking, nasturtium first attracts people with its bright colors: orange, yellow, red, and sometimes warm, striking shades in between. Just a few nasturtium plants gently climbing along a fence, growing in small pots, or surrounding vegetable beds can make the garden feel much more lively and cheerful. The interesting thing is that nasturtium is not just for decoration. Both the leaves and flowers are edible, with a slightly peppery flavor, somewhat similar to watercress or certain cruciferous vegetables. That light, peppery taste gives dishes more depth without needing too many strong seasonings. For older adults, when appetite may gradually decrease, natural flavors like this can sometimes make meals more appealing while still keeping them light. Nasturtium is also often mentioned among edible plants that contain vitamins, minerals, and beneficial plant compounds. Although we should not exaggerate and say that it can cure disease or replace medicine, when used properly, it can help make meals more diverse and add natural plant-based antioxidants. In the kitchen, nasturtium is best used as an accent, a few fresh flowers on a salad plate, some young leaves finely chopped into a mixed salad, or a decorative touch on soups and light dishes. You do not need to use much, just a small amount is enough to make a dish brighter, more beautiful, and closer to nature. So, nasturtium is a lovely choice for this list. It nourishes not only the body through nutrition, but also the spirit through the color, beauty, and sense of life it brings to the garden. 9. Strawberries. Strawberries bring a very bright feeling to a health garden. The small red fruits, sitting low beneath green leaves, always create a gentle and cheerful impression. If the vegetables mentioned earlier are more connected to main meals, strawberries feel like a small gift from the garden, mildly sweet, juicy, and able to make people want to eat healthier without feeling forced. For older adults, strawberries have a very clear advantage. They are soft, easy to eat, and can be used as a natural snack, instead of choosing cakes, candy, or sugary desserts. A small portion of fresh strawberries can help satisfy a sweet craving in a gentler way. Their natural sweet and tart flavor also helps stimulate the appetite, which is especially useful when older adults feel less interested in eating. Strawberries also stand out because of their vitamin C and antioxidants. Vitamin C is a nutrient often mentioned when talking about immunity, while antioxidants help the body fight against the harmful effects of oxidative stress over time. Of course, strawberries are not medicine, but when they appear regularly in a healthy diet, they can help support the body in maintaining better health. The good thing about strawberries is that they do not require complicated preparation. They can be eaten fresh, mixed with unsweetened yogurt, added to oatmeal, blended into a light smoothie, or enjoyed with nuts. Just a small bowl is enough to add more color, flavor, and freshness to a meal. In a health garden, strawberries are like a small joy with great value. They not only add nutrition, but also make the journey of healthy eating more beautiful, pleasant, and something to look forward to each day. 10. Sweet potatoes. Sweet potatoes bring a very warm feeling to a health garden. They are not as bright as strawberries, not as unusual as nasturtiums, and not as slender as asparagus. But sweet potatoes have the beauty of resilience and nourishment. Just a few healthy green rows of sweet potato vines, with sweet, wholesome roots slowly growing beneath the soil, can make people feel that the garden is not only there to be admired, but is truly nourishing life. For older adults, sweet potatoes are very valuable because they are soft, easy to eat, and gentle on the stomach. A steamed or baked sweet potato can become a light breakfast, a healthy snack, or a side dish that replaces more refined starches. The natural sweetness of sweet potatoes makes meals feel more pleasant, especially for people who no longer enjoy foods that are too strong, too greasy, or too heavily seasoned. The strength of sweet potatoes lies in their fiber and beta-carotene, the compound that gives many varieties their beautiful orange color. Once inside the body, beta-carotene can be converted into vitamin A, an important nutrient for vision, skin, and immune function. The fiber in sweet potatoes also helps meals feel more filling and supports more stable digestion. However, sweet potatoes are still a starchy food, so people who need to control their blood sugar should eat them in moderate amounts. The best way is to combine sweet potatoes with leafy greens, beans, fish, eggs, or healthy sources of protein to make the meal more balanced. In this list, sweet potatoes feel like a strong and steady ending. They are not only a familiar root vegetable, but also a symbol of simplicity, warmth, and long-term nourishment, exactly the spirit of a garden built for sustainable health. A health garden does not need to be too large, too expensive, or too complicated. The most important thing is to choose the right plants, ones that are easy to grow, easy to use, and able to appear regularly in everyday meals. When these natural foods are included in the diet consistently, they can help the body receive more fiber, vitamins, minerals, and essential antioxidants. Of course, no plant is a miracle that can replace medicine or treat disease, But sustainable health often does not come from one big change in a single day. It comes from small choices repeated over a long period of time. A meal with more fresh vegetables, a healthier side dish, a habit of caring for the garden every morning, all of these help nourish both the body and the mind. So growing and using these plants is not only a way to make meals more diverse, but also a slower, more natural, and more proactive lifestyle. It is a simple way to care for health from the roots. One day at a time. Thank you for watching until the end of the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel so we can explore more natural, simple, and easy to apply ways to take care of your health together.